Hey everyone, guess what I got to do over Thanksgiving break?
And
I got to meet our class cow, Tiara.
cow.
I left JC to go to Point Lookout, Missouri. Now, I didn't leave from school, obviously. I left from my house. But from JC to the barn, how much time did it take? How many hours? How many minutes? Google Maps says it would only take 2 hours and 49 minutes. However, Mom and I stopped for lunch, and Trey and Sienna had to go potty, so it took us a little longer to get there. Also looking at this map, what direction did we take to get there? If you go down, are you going north or south? We went south. Now, if you go to the left, are you going west or east? We went west. So the barn is southwest of us. Does that make sense? Now, when I got to the barn, Tiara did not want to meet me. She was shy. Thankfully, Farmer Abigail was there to get Tiara out for me. I got to pet Tiara. Doesn't she look like a Dalmatian? Take a selfie with her and take some pictures of her. One of my favorite things about Tiara was her tongue.
You gonna lick my hand again? No, you won't lick my hand again.
Oh, your little sandpaper tongue. Yes, you're so cute. Oh my goodness.
It felt like sandpaper. I probably shouldn't have let her lick me though, because she uses her tongue to clean out her nose. Gross! After I met Tiara, I began asking Farmer Abigail some questions about Tiara and the other cows at the barn. I noticed that some of the cows had lots of patterns, while some were almost completely white. Here is what Farmer Abigail had to say about that.
All the markings kind of are genetic, but sometimes you'll have an odd one that is just different.
So, the simple answer is whatever genes a mom cow or a dad cow has, that is what the baby cow will have, just like us humans. Something else I noticed, the lack of horns. Farmer Abigail said that both boy cows and girl cows have horns, but all the cows on her farm are missing theirs. Here's why.
Actually are born with horns. They don't start to grow until they're probably about 3 weeks old, but it's just a little bone that starts to grow out of their head.
Wow.
And just for their own safety and the safety of our workers, we dehorn them, which you can use paste that will stop the horns from growing, or we use a method called dehorning, where you just stunt the growth of them so that they take up less space and headlocks, and they also don't have the chance to hurt other cows or other people with their horns.
After asking about the other cows, I started to ask questions about just Tiara, like the question I've wanted to know since she got assigned to us. Why the name Tiara? Here is what Farmer Abigail had to say about that.
Our tradition here is whoever comes in to check out all our pregnant cows can review. We have to check them every 2 or 3 hours, so we rotate who checks them, and if you find the calf, you get to name it.
I know that was hard to hear, so let me tell you what she said. Farmer Abigail said that whoever is there when a calf is born is the person who gets to name it, and she wasn't sure who was there when Tiara was born. So I guess we'll never know why that person liked the name Tiara. After that, I asked the other question that I've been dying to know. Does Tiara have a tiara?
So does Tiara have a tiara?
Huh? Maybe.
We need to get her one.
Look at her marking, she might.
The last Tiara-specific question I asked was for Farmer Abigail to describe Tiara in one word, and she said feisty. Here's why.
We're moving him over here yesterday, and she was my one calf that I put her on a halter and she just took off like a little puppy, running straight outside. But she's pretty cute.
My last set of questions were about cows in general. I asked Farmer Abigail what a cow's daily schedule is. I asked her, what do the cows do all day? And she said,
She gets fed once every morning at 5 a.m.
Oh, wow.
and then 5 p.m. And other than that, she mostly just hangs out. All of the calves in the pen with her are about the same age. So,
something we do every day is eat. So I had to ask Farmer Abigail about what all the cows eat every day. And she said,
so every day they get water, obviously, and then we give them grower, which is like a type of pelletized grain.
Oh, okay.
And then we give them hay in the back as much as they can eat.
speaking of eating, do you know that cows have 4 parts of their stomach? Don't ask me to pronounce those words because I have no idea. This is different than what we humans have. We humans have 5 sections in our stomach. Again, don't ask me to pronounce those words because I have no idea. I also wanted to know if the cows will live on this farm forever, and Farmer Abigail had this to say.
Yeah, she probably will.
How long would that be?
Usually for a dairy cow, it's about 12 years.
Oh.
Yeah. But they got it pretty good. They get lots of food, lots of pets. They get to live outside, which is pretty cool. And we do all rotational grazing here. So gross, kid.
What does rotational grazing mean?
So that means we'll send the milk cows out usually at night, or when it's colder, we'll send them out in the afternoon on days like today. So they get a chance to be outside in the fields and eat all different kinds of grasses.
The last answer that I got partially on camera was about what somebody should do if he or she wants to be a farmer. Farmer Abigail said to do well in your math and science classes because there is a lot of math and science in farming. She also had this other great suggestion.
So I started off just working there in the afternoons after school in high school, and that was definitely a great way to get involved. And you see a lot of different things, and you gain just a lot of experience just on the day-to-day feeding calves. So that would definitely be my advice, is just look for ways to get involved.
Now, there were some answers that Farmer Abigail gave, but my camera did not record for some reason, so I'll just tell you. I noticed during the interview that Tiara seemed to really love Farmer Abigail. I asked if Tiara had any other friends, and Farmer Abigail told me about a barn cat named Gus. She also explained what Tiara's tag means. Tiara's number is 1674, and the other number is her barn number. That is how the farmers tell the cows apart, and how cows, if they get lost, get back home. I certainly enjoyed my trip. Did you enjoy my trip?
Feel